Welcome to this week's episode of the Running with the Mustangs, a show that is dedicated to the people, places, and things happening around Strongsville High School, as well as Strongsville City Schools. I am joined by two of our finest Spirit Squad leaders, Peyton and Zoe, so welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
So I wanted to start by talking about the fall season and cheerleading. Peyton, what do you think is the role of a cheerleader in the sport of football, and not only the sport of football, but for the school as a whole?
Yeah, so for cheer, we obviously have to know what's going on in the football game so we can call cheers and everything and kind of follow along what's going on in the game. But it's also about portraying your spirit and energy towards the audience, because obviously we have fans watching us, and it's just we're supposed to get the crowd involved as well. So getting the crowd involved to hype up the football team is our primary goal when we're cheering on the sidelines for the football team.
Sure. So to follow up on that, is there a way that you guys select cheers at a given point of the game, or is it just what you guys are kind of feeling in the
Yes.
moment?
So we have different sections of cheers. So we have just green and white, Strongsville Spirit, just plain old classic cheers that we have. But then we also have our offense and defensive cheers. So if we're on offense, we'll call an offense cheer. But if we're on defense, defense. And if it's kind of just in between, whatever we're feeling in the moment, we'll go with one of the classic Strongsville cheers that we always have.
So Zoe, touch on the competitions a little bit. Okay, This is the first year that we're going to be, going into some cheerleading competitions, and you guys are actively involved in cheer, dance, all this. So, what can you touch on that you are most excited about with the knowledge of a cheer, competition this year?
I think most of us are most excited for the fact that it's something new. None of us have done a cheer competition before, so I think we're just excited to see what it's like, kind of see how we do, see the other teams, and see what we're up against. It's been really fun to prepare our material, so everyone's been having fun with that too. Obviously the stunting, we have a cheer chant, band dance, our fight song, so it's a lot of different components that we don't normally get to do, so I think it's been fun to work on combining that.
Sure. So to follow up on that just a little bit, how do you prioritize your time being involved in cheer, in this competition, in dance, all that stuff?
I would say just having balance is key. All of us are obviously very involved with our clubs, and most of us do dance as well. So making sure that we divide up our time and obviously are giving equal commitment to everything, because we want to make sure we are devoting enough time to our cheer competition while still focusing on sideline cheer as well as our dance activities.
Sure. So Peyton, kind of looking at this year so far, I know that we still got some few weeks of football left over. Is there something that has been kind of the biggest achievement for your team or for you personally this year?
This year our team has gotten a lot better with stunting. We started stunting last year, so it's been really nice to kind of see how far we've gotten with that in just a couple years. We started doing second floor, which is pretty good for being beginners. So that's one of our main accomplishments as the team this year. And then also I think just being able to reach down to the elementary school levels, our cheer program, and along with the leadership program, we've been able to kind of collaborate and reach all kind of levels of ages and everything and interact with them. And I think that's been really nice to just represent a good brand image of cheerleading program at the Strongsville High School. So that's just been some of our top things that we've really loved doing this year.
Sure. So let me follow up on that just a little bit. So, you guys were key in, kind of bringing back the homecoming parade.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about your role and how you think that kind of influenced the community to come out to support, the fall sports.
Yeah, so me and Zoe, we were both leadership, or these visionaries as part of leadership for the parade, and we had two boys with us. One of them was a football player and one of them was a soccer player, along with Mrs. Drake, who helped us tremendously put us all together.
So the cheer program, I guess, was involved in that in the sense that we did heavily promote it. Since we are the Spirit program, we are the ones trying to promote what the parade was representing, which was bringing spirit back to the community. So since cheer is the embody of that, we wanted to make sure that we promoted that, which I think we did very well, and it turned out great.
And it was really nice to see, because we both coach SFL squads as well, so they were all there because we were able to bring everyone from the community together. So it was good to see them. They were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you put this all out for the community.
Yeah.
This is so great. Congratulations. And we're like, oh, thank you. It was really fulfilling, because we saw our vision come to life. And as cheerleaders, we're supposed to be kind of these role models for how you're supposed to encourage community and encourage spirit throughout the district and everything. So it was really cool to see everyone come together for that.
So Zoe, fast forward a little bit. Okay, we got a couple weeks left of football. and then hopefully we make a deep playoff run. So what are you looking forward to most in the last, let's say 3-4 weeks of this year?
I'm, of course, really looking forward to senior night with all my best friends. And then our Brunswick game, I think that's going to be a really good game. We're looking forward to that. And then playoffs, hopefully we make it pretty far. But after that, it's really just the competition and focusing on that and bonding with the girls as a team and soaking up every last moment we're going to have together this year.
Awesome. So I always end each segment with one last fun question. So the fun question I have for you both is, if you could drive any car in the world, what would it be and why?
I think I would probably drive a Bronco, just because right now I have a 2003 Toyota Camry, so it's a pretty old lady, so I think having a nice car would be good for once, but I like her. She's fine.
I also like Broncos with the Mustang, but if I could pick anything, probably a Mercedes G-Wagon. That'd probably be my dream car up there. Just I like the shape of it, and it's high quality and all that. It's
Awesome.
pretty.
Well, I thank you both very much for joining me. If you want to check out our Spirit Squad, every Friday night they go to away games and at home for our football team. So after this break, we will be back with 2 more student athletes. Thanks. Alrighty, welcome back to this week's episode. I'm now joined by 2 more Spirit Squad ladies, Gianna as well as Joelle. So thank you guys very much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
So I am going to start with you, okay? Gianna. How did you start in the sport of cheerleading? And I know that you're actively involved in cheerleading, gymnastics, dance, all that. So,
Yes.
What kind of drew you to the sport of cheerleading initially?
I think I joined cheerleading. We were actually just talking about this. All 4 of us started cheer together in 6th grade, which is kind of a full circle moment that we're wrapping up our senior year all together this year. I really started cheer because I wanted something fun and kind of to incorporate my talent from gymnastics into more of an unserious, more lackadaisical way. And it has become very serious now. I'm very serious about it. Yeah, I started as something fun to do, and now it's my passion and I love it.
Sure. So, Joelle, as we stated, we are starting Stunton this year. Can you talk about the impact that this has had on the sport and how maybe your time as a dancer kind of helps you in this role?
Well, I feel like my background, I started dancing when I was 6, so I really knew that what coming together as a team, what that impact could be, because both cheerleading and dance are team sports, especially with stunting. Your stunt group always needs to work together, and if one person is off, it's going to throw the whole thing off. So I feel like going in with that mindset of we're all collaborating together and all our efforts really do pay off in the long run. I feel like with that motive, my team is just gone through the roof. We know what our goals are, and we know what we're willing to do to get there.
Sure. Gianna, what are some of the biggest highlights or memorable moments so far from your senior season here?
Like you said, it's our senior season, so I think that a lot of memories have been made throughout these past 4 years, especially with team dinners at the beginning of every Friday night. We start off by having a team dinner, just being able to talk to each other and kind of giggle and laugh. So I definitely think team dinners and team bonding and everything off the sidelines has really allowed us to become that really big team aspect that we're looking for and really bond and become, like I said, a team.
Sure. So Joel, kind of touch on this. So, you guys both stated that you started at very young ages. What advice would you give to someone maybe looking to get into the sport of cheerleading, someone that maybe is a little bit hesitant, scared of stunting? Is there advice that you would give them personally to kind of help them overcome that?
Well, as a senior, something you always hear a lot is you have to make the most of every moment. And as that applies to cheerleading, I really do believe that's true. Always going to events and always putting on your best faces. And even going to community events and reaching out to kids and just talking to them and their families is just so uplifting. And it really helps you see what your direct impact is on the community and on the people of Strongsville, which is so nice to see.
Sure. Is there anything that you would give advice-wise, Gianna?
Yeah, I can agree. I think that these past 4 years, something that I've really realized is, like she said, how much of an impact the cheerleading program has on this community. And we have to realize, as upcoming young cheerleaders, they need to realize that they are representing our community, and to represent our community, every time you wear Strongsville cheer and you're walking out in public, you are representing Strongsville as a whole, and to always keep that in mind and always put your best foot forward and represent yourself as you would want people in the community to see you as.
Sure. So, you guys obviously do a lot. You do a lot of community events, in school, out of school, pep rallies, the elementary school. Is there one particular thing that really hits home with you as a cheerleader? Like, gosh, if I could do this every week, this is the one thing that I want to do, whether that's a routine, whether that's a skill, it is going down to, the elementary schools. Is there anything like that that kind of strikes you?
For me personally, I feel like the first game of every new season is just so rewarding because it's like all throughout the summer and like before school starts, we're putting in all this hard work, and like that moment when the game starts until it's finished is just so like worth it. And I feel like most game nights are exactly like that. So for me, it's just Friday Night Lights are such special moments for me.
Sure.
I can agree. Friday Night Lights definitely get the adrenaline going, and it's very rewarding to see that like all of our hard work is being put to the test every Friday night, and it's paying off. We're seeing the reactions and the woes and wows from the student section and from the parents and everyone in the stands. So I think that is definitely something that's important. But my favorite thing from this season this year as a cheerleader, I think, was the homecoming parade. I think that was so fun, and I think it was a great way to get the whole community involved and really set the tone for the week. It got us all excited for homecoming and everything that leads up to it. The football game, the team dinners, the parade, the actual dance, everything. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you ladies very much for joining me. I do have one last question. What would be your favorite all-time vacation spot if you had to pick one? And why?
I've been wanting to go to Austria for so long. I just feel like it's different from like your average tour spot. And I don't know, it's just somewhere I've wanted to go.
Awesome.
I want to tour Africa so bad. I want to go on a safari, and then I want to go to the coast of Africa. But also the Maldives. That is on my bucket list for sure.
Awesome. Well, I thank you ladies once again. I thank you guys for joining us. You can catch all of the up-to-date sports action at our athletic website, www.strongsvilleathletics.org. We have a lot of playoff action coming up in our next couple weeks here, so please stay tuned and check out how our fall teams are finishing up their seasons. Thanks.